From Plaça de Cinc we turned onto another famous street, Passeig De Grácia. This is Barcelona's Golden Mile, the local Champs Elysees, the best hotels, Michelin star restaurants, top brand stores, it's all here. Boulevard de Gracia is the third highest cost of renting premises in Spain, more expensive only on Calle Preciados in Madrid and another Barcelona street, Portal del Ángel. Right after the turn from the Plaça de Cinc, we come across the famed architectural creation of Antonio Gaudi, Casa Milá. It is said that when the building was completed in 1912, the Milá family refused to pay Gaudi for it. Pere Milá, the client, asked Gaudi to make something very similar to Casa Batlló. Gaudi did something completely opposite. The citizens quickly nicknamed the house the Quarry due to its appearance. And not just that. Pile of scrap metal, molehill, dirigible hangar are some of the more polite terms. The house, let's say, stood out quite a bit from its extremely luxurious neighbors on the boulevard. The head of the Milá family was upset, a bit. He hadn't planned to live in a quarry. Well, and he also didn't like the size of the artist's fee. Plus, there were issues with the furniture. No corners, uneven walls, which is true, but not because Gaudi couldn't use a plumb line or trowel for walls, unlike some of our contemporary builders. And the neighbors behaved like typical good neighbors. The last assholes, they stopped greeting the Milás and accused them of causing the prices of their own beautiful homes to drop because of this strange construction. An amazing short-sightedness. In short, Papa Milá said everything was bad and refused to pay Gaudi for the work. Well, of course anyone could offend the artist. But not this time. Fuck you, said Gaudi, and took the case to the court. The judge turned out to be either a true appreciator of Gaudi's talent or a great visionary. But he decided that the city deserves such a little house and ordered Milá to pay the architect his full fee. Something in the order of 105,000 pesetas, which was about $18,000 at the time, or about 600,000 at today's rate. And also another 100,000 pesetas in fines for numerous building code violations made by Gaudi. For example, one of the house's columns ended up right on the sidewalk. Imagine, you are building a house and during construction you decide it'd be nice to take up a bit of the pedestrian area. The authorities, the city planners, were also surprised and asked for the column to be removed. Gaudi, in response, promised to hang a memorial plaque at the side of the sawed-off column with the names of the officials insisting on the demolition. In the end, the building was recognized as an architectural treasure for which compliance with the laws was not necessarily required. Mind you, this was before the commissioning of the house. An interesting life hack. The total construction cost Milá about 600,000 pesetas, or just over $100,000 at the 1912 exchange rate. But the Milás didn't make a bad investment. In 1946, Pere Milá's widow sold the house for 18 million pesetas, which amounted to $1.6 million at the time. In 1986, the house was bought by Casa Catalunya for 900 million pesetas. At that time, it was already worth about $6.5 million or 18 million in today's prices. In summary, Gaudi's houses have a pretty high investment appeal, an excellent track record and good growth potential, so if someone you know is dealing in Gaudi's houses, grab them without thinking too long. Well, finally, the judge was right. Now, Casa Milá is one of the most famous houses in Barcelona, housing a museum with dazzling interiors. The bent and crooked just like the whole house, the rooftop terrace with famous whimsical chimneys and ventilation towers designed in abstract shapes and are often interpreted as sculptures more than functional elements. And an interesting exposition about Gaudi. The futuristic rooftop inspired George Lucas in the design of costumes for Darth Vader and his crew. By the way, for 35 euros you can come on a night tour. At night, the house gives off a rather mystical impression due to special lighting. But we are moving on towards another, probably the most famous house built by Gaudi, Casa Batlló. More on that in the next video. Stay tuned, follow me.